The black pill and quitting PMO are very, very similar. Now, I want to talk to you about the black pill pretty much, right, with me. I'm 24 now, so about 3 years ago, 4 years ago, I was really entrenched in this black pill ideology. Not of my own kind of wanting, I didn't really want to believe it, but I just thought it was true. I thought because I'm short, I'm Indian, and I'm skinny, that meant I was fucked when it came to girls. When it came to girls, right, this is what was going through my head when I was 20, right, so 4 years ago. I would think if I ever attracted a girl, then she would always be pining away and more interested in the 6'2" white guy, and therefore I would never kind of have a satisfying relationship. It's absolutely bonkers thinking about now what I've experienced now in these past couple of years, really. But that's how I believe. That's what I thought. Here's the thing, right? When you believe in this stuff, when you go into a cold approach interaction believing that you suck, believing she's never going to be interested in me because I'm brown, I'm short, I'm skinny, the girls can see that mindset on you. I know it sounds crazy, but if you go in thinking all of that stuff with that toxic mindset, you're going to go in like hunched, feeling horrible. Oh, one sec. You're going to go in hunched, feeling horrible, basically like a fucking little gremlin, like that. And it's going to come across in your facial expressions. It's going to bleed into the interaction massively. There's no way you can fake your way out of that mindset, like, while still believing it, if that makes sense. You can't like modify your body language still with the toxic mindset and expect everything to be okay. So the girl essentially sees a weak little gremlin who's like just like that, and therefore you get rejected, or therefore the girl's just so uninterested in you. You're getting horrible reactions, but then you attribute those reactions to your looks, not the mindset. The mindset became a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you believe all of those toxic things, like I'm short, she's going to hate me because I'm short, when you go into the interaction, you're going to bring across that nervous, insecure energy. She's going to fucking see that, and she's not going to be interested. And then you think it's because of your height, but really it's because of your mindset and how you came across. The point being is it's the same with PMO, heavy PMO use. If you believe you're addicted, if you believe, right, if you believe that porn has massive value, then when you try to abstain, it's going to become a self-fulfilling prophecy. You're going to feel deprived. You're going to feel like shit. You're going to feel, fuck, porn is the best thing in the world. And then that gets reinforced. Do you see what I mean? And then you think, oh, porn must be this incredible thing. And that gets reinforced. Do you see what I'm saying? So the belief beforehand, before you've even gone into it, reinforces the effect afterward. It isn't the effect. The effect, i.e., you watching PMO, isn't due to the actual addictiveness of PMO or the actual massive value in PMO. It's due to the mindset that you had coming into it, which caused it, right? So a lot of you trying to abstain, and you're saying, man, I try to abstain, but I just cave and I just love PMO. It's just the best thing ever. And you're saying it is addictive. Well, if you believe it's addictive going into that abstinence experiment, if you believe it has massive value going into that abstinence experiment, it's going to become the truth. In the same way as when I was doing those cold approaches, if I go in believing all these horrible things about myself, then it's going to become true. Not because of the thing, but because of my beliefs. And this is great news because your beliefs are subject to change. You can change your beliefs. This is the best news ever. This is like Santa Claus coming to your fucking house. A lot of these NoFap YouTubers will like tell you this spiel about dopamine and how you've got to battle cravings. That is not the type of shit you want to be hearing. Not because it's true, but because it's completely not true, and it's going to fucking ruin your mindset. And then when you go into the abstinence experiment believing, man, like the dopamine's going to get me. The dopamine is just going to make me just take over my mind. The dopamine. If you believe that shit going into it, guess what? You're gonna use PMO, not because of the dopamine, but because of the concept, the construct that you've created in your own mind. Because at the end of the day, our beliefs are what drive us, not fucking dopamine spikes, all of this shit. It really isn't. It's our beliefs. If I believe that I believe this water is good water. If I believe this water is now poison, I'm not drinking it because my belief has changed. If I believe that there's £1,000,000 down on the bottom of my road, I'm going to run down to the bottom of my road and claim my bloody £1,000,000. Our desires are heavily, if not completely, I'd say completely, personally, completely controlled by our beliefs, and we can change our beliefs. Therefore, we can change our desires. The desire for PMO is no different. It's no different to any other type of desire. It's not an addiction. Addiction is a false concept. Why would you invent the concept of addiction when you could just explain it in terms of desire? The reason why is because, this is a bit of a tangent, the reason why is because non-addicts, i.e. non-heavy PMO users, can't understand why PMO users would do it despite all the negative consequences. It's like when you see a heroin junkie, right? You look at him and you're like, I cannot understand why you're doing that. Why don't you just stop? And you think, they must be addicted. They're not addicted. It's just that you are ignorant of their position. You're lacking information into their world. In their world, they view heroin as addictive. They view heroin as having massive value. They view it as something that they need to be happy. And so what I'm saying is that as a PMO user, you're no different. You just need to change those beliefs, and they are subject to change. You can change them. It's not locked in via neurochemicals. It isn't. It's just the same as changing any other belief. It might take a bit of time, and you have to be persistent with it, but you can do it. Just how I did with the Blackpill stuff. And in the end, how did I change my Blackpill beliefs? I started to question it. I went online. I saw a lot of short Indian guys, shorter than me, uglier than me, who were getting chicks. And I saw they were getting success, and I was like, if they're getting success, then so can I. So then I started to, think of myself more. I started to temporarily hold beliefs that, I am attractive to women. And then when I went into the bar, and I went into the nightclub, and I got results with that new mindset, you have no idea the mental pressure that. One of the best days of my life. I remember that day. It was fantastic. Those early successes, because they reinforce the new beliefs that you are worth something, the new beliefs that you can do it. It is possible for you. Yeah, that's how I felt, and it was the paradigm shift was moving. Right, I was so moved. It was brilliant. One of the best days of my life. I shit you not. Just because that shift in beliefs, I no longer felt hopeless. I felt amazing, and I felt, you know what, I could do this. And it was this real sense of hopefulness. Anyway, hope you've taken a lot away from this vid. You understand how your mindset can self-reinforce, and this is true. I know it's hard to believe because I'm the one saying it, and I'm just one man on the internet full of nofap idiots. But it's totally true, and you can read The Freedom Model. You can read Addiction is a Choice by Jeffrey Shaler, Addiction, a Disorder of Choice by Gene Heyman, and of course The Freedom Model, which you can read for free in the description. Read all that shit, and once you make this shift in paradigms, your whole world changes. You become free. I can do whatever the fuck I want now. It's great. Alright, peace.